Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you once again to the Lennie Robbins YouTube channel. Know Your Politics. Coming together, we're trying to come together to create a better understanding on the premise that we must continue to watch what they do. You know, something jumps right out at me just as I was about to start this presentation. I remember years ago growing up in Jamaica, there was all over the place a lot of signs that say stop, look, and listen. Now, you don't see those signs no more. Those signs are removed, long gone. So we lost the habit to stop, look, and listen. So by stop looking, listening, and learning, we have no idea what politicians or politics are doing to us. I say that because I want to jump into an issue here. When I read in the Gleaner this morning that the CRC, the Constitutional Reform Committee led by Dr. Light Barnett, has submitted their first report. And it's funny because someone can come and say what Dr. Barnett has said, make sense of what Dr. Barnett has said. Because as far as I'm concerned, he said nothing that is making sense to me. Because constitutional reform for us, for me, in my opinion, should be something that's going to involve us as citizens. Should be something that the citizens have a right. Should give the citizen a lot more autonomy, a lot more power, a lot more rights to participate in the whole governance of the country. Participate in the sense that I'm not sitting in parliament with the prime minister or elected people. But I should be able to, through a process, bring things to the ballot that we really think is interesting, is important to us as citizens of the country. Not for the politician to sit there and dictate exactly what they want to do and what they want to continue to do with our lives, and then continue to use us as useful idiots. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring this to attention of all Jamaicans. Listen, the constitutional reform they're talking about is based upon what? Citizenship. Citizenship and CCJ and the Privy Council. Now, the law in Jamaica made it clear, because everybody is saying all sort of foolishness and all sort of crap about Mark Golding has to go home, Mark Golding an English citizen and he's a liar and all of these things. While the Constitution is right there in front of all of us, giving him the right to have dual citizenship and the right to be in Parliament. The law is there. Now, the PNP is holding on to him. Some factions are saying he's right, some faction, especially the JLP side, is saying he's wrong. While the law is there. Notice what is not being said here. Because whether Mark Golding has dual citizenship or is a citizen of Jamaica or is a citizen of England, it's not going to make a difference to Mark Golding. It doesn't change Mark Golding for the better, nor change him for the worse. It doesn't change the PNP for the better or for the worse. It doesn't make Andrew Holness any worse off. It doesn't make the JLP any worse off or them any better either. It's neither here nor there. And what does it do for us as people of the country? Nothing. Absolutely nothing either. And notice the constitutional reform they're talking about has nothing to do with making people's lives better. It has everything to do with who is right, who is wrong, who is right, who is wrong, while the Constitution itself is right there in front of all of us to interpret. And even when we look at the Constitution and read it and interpret, scholars and constitutional experts and all of these things are coming forward and saying all that they're saying. Dr. Light Barnett, I'm sorry, sir, but I have to say that somebody need to come and explain to me what you said, because as far as I'm concerned, you said nothing. I'm not a lawyer, I'm a layman. I'm not a lawyer. But you said nothing in terms of in terms of the constitutional reform. On the other hand, let us think, ladies and gentlemen, why now is the Mark Golding issue a forefront of discussion just at the time when constitutional reform is being bandied about? Why now when moving away from the British monarch is something that we are now actually getting into? Why now then that Mark Golding issue is at surface? I'm not saying, I can't without facts say it is something planned or devious on the part of the JLP or any faction in the society that want to get rid of Mark Golding, but it seemed a little fishy. And knowing that the man is right, it seems a little fishy if we have this kind of big conversation about something knowing that the man is right. You know, I want us to stop, look, and listen and learn, because it's important to watch what these politicians are doing. And I'm going to quote an example here. A lot of African countries have moved away from the British monarchies, severed themselves, all ties with the British monarch. But look at the state of their country today. Where are they today? We move away from our slave masters, but our own masters, who in the first place got us into slavery. Because remember, the white man didn't really capture us and put us into slavery. It's the black man who captured us and held us in for ransom to the white man. Our own black people who put us in slavery, they are now our leaders. What are we benefiting from that? Just the joy to say a white man is not ruling me no more? When my life is worse, I'm suffering just as much? What's the point in removing the chain and still use your brain? Ladies and gentlemen, we got to really start to advocate for as citizens. We need to have some say now. We need this constitution reform to give us some autonomy, give us some rights, give us some privilege, because all of that autonomy and citizens' rights, citizens' autonomy and citizens' privilege were really hijacked from the very day we got our independence. And this is the very politicians who hijacked that autonomy from us. The only thing they left us to do is to vote for them. So we become, all along, we're useful idiots. Now we need, by some process, if the Constitution is going to be truly reformed, we need something in place that's going to give us the autonomy where we can come to get a vote and put things on the ballot. By some process, we can add things to the ballot. So when election time comes, we are voting not just for one particular person or any MP, but we are voting for that. Now listen what Sir Lloyd Barnett is saying, or the Prime Minister is also saying about constitutional reform. Now, moving away from the Privy Council, yes, but they want to maintain the same system of government. Hear this. They maintain the same system of government. Get to that Governor General. Whichever party wins the election and whoever becomes the Prime Minister, he will appoint someone to be a de facto president in consultation with the leader of the opposition. Now, if the leader of the opposition opposes that appointment, aren't we back to square one? Is the Constitution going to give the Prime Minister the authority to go ahead with that appointment? If he doesn't agree, or if he agree now, the leader of the opposition agree with the appointment, what's going to happen next? JLP is going to vote, PNP is going to vote, both sides of the House is going to vote, and the appointee has to get 2/3 majority vote in the House for him to ascend to that seat. It's a process we got to wait out. We got to wait and see what happens. We just got to wait and see what happens. I'd like to ask people to do one thing though. All the scholars in Jamaica and everybody, call Barbados, call the Prime Minister and ask them if they really severed all ties with the monarchy. Call them and ask them if they really, and if so, in what way are they still attached to the monarch? Because in our situation, and if I'm wrong here, I stand to be corrected, people are jumping up and down and banding about this whole argument. We want to get rid of the monarch. We want to get rid of the monarchy. We want to move away from the monarchy. We don't want no king and queen to rule us. That's fine. But tell me now, since we got our independence, in what way is the monarchy ruling us? No one is saying this to us. No one is saying this to us. In what way is England still ruling us? Notice the only thing they talk about is the Privy Council. The Privy Council court. And ask Vance Cartel, would he have a retrial if there wasn't a Privy Council? Ask the two gentlemen who is free now. I don't know if they died or they're still alive. About that robbery at the Western Union place in Spanish Town bus terminus in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s. When they robbed the Western Union, there was a big shootout in which a policeman died, and 2 men were held charged and identified by police as the shooters. They were sentenced to death. If the Privy Council did exist, those 2 men would have died long ago. Because in truth and in fact, the truth be told, they weren't even at the scene of the robberies. Police shoot police, guys. Police roll up the Western Union. Nobody wants to say this. You understand? I'm raising all of this because we got to be careful of what we're asking for. We got to be careful of what we're asking for. Yes, we got our independence. From 1962, we got our independence. What has our black leaders done for us since 1962 to today? All of them were alive or sitting pretty well. Where are we, the people? We're still going through this dumb, useful, idiot cycle to please the politicians. You understand? And notice how they argue. No matter what the JLP says, the PNP oppose it. No matter what the PNP says, the JLP oppose it. Never can they come together and say, you know what, let us work on one thing jointly for the benefit of the nation. Let us do something for the nation. They have elected us in and out of politics. Let us do something for them. Nothing. Because their thing is not about us. Their thing is about them, not us. It's about them. It's about JLP. It's about PNP. Right? And notice the fight now that is going on in politics. It's all about the JLP trying to project themselves as the best party for the country, and the PNP trying to protect themselves on the mark goal as the best thing for the country. What does that do to us as a people? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to really stop, look, listen, and learn. It is important for us to watch what they do. We can't afford to allow them to continue to get away with the way we have been treated as people. Right? We can't afford that. Notice even in the constitutional reform and the citizenship thing that they're talking about. And Dr. Light Barnett, I'd like you to address this issue. Which is more of a commitment to a cause and to a purpose? A commitment by birth or a commitment by naturalization? Citizenship by birth or citizenship by naturalization? You tell me. Because if someone isn't born in Jamaica, travel to another country, let us say Canada, and get citizenship, if the constitution is reformed in the way you guys are planning it, when he comes back to Jamaica, he cannot go into politics unless he renounces Canadian citizenship. As it is right now, he can. But when the reform is set and in place, he cannot do it. But I want to ask the question, no one is addressing this and no one is bringing this to the fore. Birthright or naturalization? Which is greater? Which is more important to you? But you're telling the man, go to Canada, get yourself educated, learn all you can learn, come back with all the skills. Come back with all the resources you have invested in the country and sit on the sideline and watch the very politician destroyed. And watch the very politicians that we are supporting destroy our lives. What are we doing here, ladies and gentlemen? It is funny, I really could go into this for another 20-30 minutes, but I gotta run. I have to run, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to use this opportunity to say, welcome to the Lennie Robbins YouTube show again. Know your politics. Let us come together, create a better understanding. It is time for us to stop, look, and listen. Stop, look, listen, and learn, because we must watch what they do. It is important for us to watch what these politicians are doing. And all this crap that is going on right now. You tell me, if anyone is out there can tell me, of the constitutional reform as it is presented, how will it help poor people? How will it make the lives of the poor people in Jamaica any better? Can someone tell me that? Because maybe I'm not a politician, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a dumbass person. But can someone tell me that? Then I'd rather shut up my mouth, because I don't know what I'm talking about if what you're saying is makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I gotta run, using this quick opportunity to say hi to every Jamaicans, home and abroad, and wake up. We need to wake up. They have gotten away with too much. Politicians have gotten away too much. They have all the autonomy, all the authority, all the privilege, all the decision-making power to dictate what happens to our politics, where we go, where we don't go, and why we go. It is time for us to take away some of that as citizens. It's time for some of that come to us as citizens, because that's the only way we're going to get this politics or get the government's performance to change course. That's the only way we can get them to change course. As long as they have all the authority and the power and the autonomy to do what they want to do, we will not be able to get them to change course. Vote them in, vote them out, vote them in, vote them out will not cause them to change course. We need to ask them in this constitutional reform. I'm using this opportunity and this platform to make an appeal to the reformists, to the committee, that we need to see reform in the Constitution in the sense that's going to have us as citizens of this country, as voters of this country, having the right to get issues on the ballot that the whole country can vote for an issue. We're not voting for politicians anymore, or for political parties. We need to vote for issues now, alongside voting for representative. I noticed what Andrew Woolness said. Even though we're moving away from the Privy Council, we're maintaining the same electoral process, same functions of government. Nothing changes. Ladies and gentlemen, stop, look, listen, and learn. Welcome to the Lennie Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together and create a better understanding. Watch what they do. My last word. Watch what they do. This is my moniker for all politicians today in Jamaica. Watch what they do. It's not about us as far as they're concerned. It's about them. Thank you. See you next time.